Joe, what up? That's a jazz song. That's John Schofield. That's called Wabash. Yeah. Then there's hard to sing and play at the same time. That's loud jazz. Yeah, loud jazz. I can't think of the other song. I can't remember the name of it. Can't remember the name of that song. It starts off. That song is intense. That whole album was good. Then there's what's that first song? No, I'm not. I'm not gonna do a cover because I don't own the songs, and they'll clip my stream. Sorry. Hey man, I'm gonna be honest. I'm not being mean or anything, but when you guys ask for covers, I don't think you're like it's copyright, bro. Like you can't. Like they will literally either clip my stream or as it's processing, they'll just mute that whole part, and then I'll get a copyright strike. You guys just can't ask for do a cover of such and such a so and so. It ain't that easy, man. You know, I don't think you guys realize that. Like I said, I'm not being mean or anything. That's just like it's kind of like nowadays we live in an age where it's kind of common knowledge. Like you can't do covers. You can't do covers. They'll pull your whole channel depending on how the artist feels about it. Some artists will be like, no, not only pull the video, but pull the channel. Sometimes they'll pull the video. You'll be like, what happened? I uploaded it. It's gone. Sometimes they'll pull the video and strike you, and now you got a copyright strike. Get two more strikes, and they'll take your channel. Sometimes they will just take your channel. So yeah, man, you can't. Nah, man. Nah, man. Like you don't know. You don't have the rights to that stuff. I'll say this: if somebody, I have music out. I've got music on all streaming platforms. If somebody, what happens is, first of all, I'll say this: there's no such thing as fair use. No matter what people tell you, no matter what YouTube says, there's no such thing as fair use. Their form of fair use is when the algorithm detects that it's a copywritten song, they go to the artist and say, "Do you want to strike this?" And the artist will say yay or nay. 99% of the time, no. I'll give it 90% of the time. The artist is going to say no. Then that's not, they're not saying fair. Even if you put, I don't own this song, it's not, there's no such thing as fair use. There's no such thing. You know what I mean? Contrary to what they say, you could be like, it's fair use. It's only so and so seconds. It's less than a minute. Nah, there's no such thing as fair use. So if you're gonna do a whole song, it will zap you, bro. YouTube is like funny style with that. There's a guy, Josh Drums. This guy, Josh Crawford, is a drummer, YouTube drummer. He really focuses on everything else because YouTube just went and he did everything he was supposed to do under fair use, and they struck his channel horribly. He had to go through. Now he's been posting videos for at least 15 years, 12 to 15 years. He had to go through thousands of videos and remove all of even his reaction videos. He had to go and remove his reaction videos. He just was like, "Look, I'm just going to have a Patreon page and you can go over to Patreon and and you know and go like he rarely posts on YouTube anymore because of that. And he's not the only guy. Like a lot of guys do that. Now I'll say this, YouTube is selective. They're selective with who they strike. You know what I mean? And like a lot of the really big content creators, like there's a guy, academics. This guy is a when he streams, he gets about 8 to 10,000 people, sometimes 12,000 people on his YouTube streams. He's legendary. He's the OG of live streaming. If he plays stuff, the only way he's able to play stuff, like he gets exclusives on Drake. He gets exclusives on a lot of artists. The only reason why they don't pull his content is because the artist has to beforehand say, allow DJ Academics to react to it. Because if not, they will shut his stream down. You know what I mean? So, and he's got multiple channels with millions of followers, and he's a big time. Like that's why like it's really, you know, It's really political, man. It's they pick and choose. But if like me, if you're a small content creator, man, they will clip your wings. So you know, yeah, yeah, 15 years, bro. 15 years, bro. Josh Crawford has been on YouTube forever, bro, and they clipped him. You know what I mean? And they didn't. As a matter of fact, they clipped his channel. They said you won't get it back until you go through and delete all those videos. So he had to go through thousands of videos. You know, so he just was like he doesn't even really post on. He finally got it back after a few months, after like maybe 6 or 7 months. But he's like, man, I don't even. He did a video. He was like, man, unfortunately, man, I can't. Like, let me tell you something, bro. If you like have an unboxing of a product and a product is trash and it's a big enough company, they'll clip your channel. You know what I mean? So it's really it's kind of YouTube is really strict. Like I wouldn't be surprised if they clip me for singing a song, bro. You know what I mean? So YouTube is kind of messed up, man. Well, it doesn't really go like that. If somebody plays something, if you play something so good, they're like, okay, that's cool. Like I've had artists. Don't get me wrong. I've done covers um, of stuff, full covers of stuff, and the artist who did it, he loved it. I've had a couple artists. They're like, man, that's not easy, man. I love it, but it's very rare that somebody will hire you just from a YouTube video. Um, there's a there's a there's a there's a vetting process that you have to kind of go through. Um, you know, um, there's a vetting. It's not. Oh, I saw him on YouTube because I could be a Stark Raven, addict, but play drums really, really well. You know what I mean? There's a vetting process. It's not, you know, oh, you get plucked out of the obscurity of YouTube. It's not like that, man. You gotta, because I'll be honest, there are a lot of guys who are good. I'm not like anything special. There are a lot of guys who are good. You got to go and audition. You know what I mean? And their people contact you, and then you audition. Or if they have an open cattle call, then you could be like, okay, well, I'll go audition. But that still doesn't mean because you did that YouTube video, you're gonna make it. You know what I mean? So it's never like that. It's never like that. I've been on YouTube since 2007. It's never like that. Now there are guys who came from YouTube to you know to to play. Like there's a guy, I can't remember his name. He plays for Janet Jackson now. I started YouTube in 2007. He started YouTube in 2006, and he just recently got a gig with Janet Jackson, but that's because he was doing other shows and he got referred to from like it was gig after gig after gig after gig. He's from Atlanta. And he had to kind of build a reputation and then he didn't necessarily get it. Like Janet Jackson didn't pluck him out of obscurity. He was well, I can't remember the guy's name, but he's well known in the YouTube drum community. He's very well known. He's one of the OGs of it, and he was an OG who got plucked out. You know what I mean? Ellis Spariano, whatever his name is, he became viral, and he's playing with a Latin band. But that's because he got brand deals, and he got this deal, and he got that deal, and he got known in the community really fast. Um, and he got plucked, but he it didn't come out of obscurity. He became a well-known person. You know what I mean? So it's you gotta really you gotta be around for a while, and you gotta like brands have to be able to endorse you and put their reputation behind you. And even then, like I said, even then there's like a vetting process that you actually have to go through. There's an audition process. Like, sure, you can play a song good, but can you learn a catalog? You know what I mean? And after you learn that catalog, how's your personality? Because there's a lot of guys who can play, but how's their personality? How's they call it the hang? How's the hang? Because you got to consider this: when you're on tour, you're living with that person. You know what I mean? Like you're literally living on a bus and living in a hotel room. You're living with that person, so your personality has to kind of mesh with everybody. And there are a lot of guys who are great musicians, but they have horrible personalities. So there's a lot of stuff that kind of goes into it. It's never you just get hired like that. You know what I mean? So you know, um, 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 yeah, I do gigs. Um, but at the same time, um, it would have to really be worth my while. I've gotten offers. It would have to really be worth my while because I have a wife and 4 kids. And being away and on tour is not necessarily like it would have to really be worth my while. It would have to be number one, family friendly in that um I'm married. I don't expect half naked chicks running around. Like, don't do that. Like, I need somebody who's gonna be mature enough to be like, let's get down to business. I don't need any partying. I don't need any of that. Like, um I live a pretty straight edge life, and music for me is a job. It's not an extension of the party scene. And it's just, like I said, it has to be really worth my while. I like my wife. I'm not going anywhere. She ain't going anywhere. I love my kids. So there's a lot of things that have to go into place before I could, like, I not necessarily you got to pay me $1 million. No, but it just has to depend on, you know, like I need some like I need because when you're auditioning for a band, you are auditioning, but they're also auditioning for you. You may fit them, but do they fit you? You know what I mean? Um, I'm not the kind of person where I'm going on tour for 18 months straight. I can go on for 18 months, 3 months on, a month off, 3 months on, a month off, or 6 months on. I don't even like 6 months. Like I'll go to most 4, 4 months on, a month off, and that's reasonable. That's pretty. There are tours that do that. They do like 90 days on, 30 days off, 90 days on, 30 days off, 90 days on, and some guys, some band directors who hire the musicians, they actually prefer that you're married because you're established and you're stable and you know what I mean. You're done with all the running around. So it's what I look for isn't necessarily it isn't out of the ordinary, but like I said, I've gotten offers, but there's certain things I just don't, you know, I'm a mature dude, man. I don't the running around, the other stuff, and like I just don't do that. So hold on, guys. Huh. But I do local gigs and stuff like that. You know, I do a lot of recording. Come on, I do a lot of recording. Oh Lord. Dave Chappelle. Oh, I need a good laugh. Um, it depends on how much you practice. I to get into the kind of area where I'm at, it took about 5 years. But I practiced from Monday through Friday, about 5 o'clock to 10:30, 10:30. Saturday I practiced from like 9 to like 11. Then hung out with my buddies. Then from 8, no. Then it was like maybe from 4 to 4 to 5. Then I hung out. Then I practiced again from 9 to 10. Depending, sometimes if I would practice from 9 to like 4. Or 9, yeah, 9 to like 4. Some Saturdays it'd be like 9 to 4. And then I'd hang out with my buddies, and it would be like 7 to 10. Sundays it was usually about 7 hours. So within 5 years, within about 4.5 to 5 years, I was smoking, man. So it depends on how much you practice. You know, it depends on how much you practice, how focused your practice is. But it took about 4.5 to 5 years to be in the stratosphere that I'm at now. Um, and then I had stopped playing for like 10 years, and then I went back at it for another 10 years, and then I stopped for 2 more years, and I started back up in like 2019. About 2019, I started back up again, and it was like an off and on thing. And really, at the place I'm at now, it took every day, 3 to 4 times a day, from August of last year to now. So it depends on how much time it takes, like how much time you want to dedicate to it. Like for me, I'll be honest. You have a choice. You can hang out with your buddies, or you can practice. You know, but hanging out with your buddies, unless they're musicians, they're not gonna help you get better. You know, uh, and that's fine if your social life is more important. Then there's always a drawback, man. There's always a there's always something you got to give up to get what you want, man. You know what I mean? Like especially if you're young. I'm like this. If you're young, if you really want to be good, put in the time, bro. Put in the time. You know, all my friends were musicians, so all I did was just practice. That's all I did was practice. You know. So my social life was tied to music. You know. Um, and I put a lot of thought into what I practice, what style of music I practice. I always kind of decided. There was a point in my life where I kind of decided, like, look, I don't care what's gonna happen. I'm just gonna be an eternal student of drums. Um, I never want to get to a place where I know it all. I think that's the beginning of the end for any musician. Where you think you know it all, or you look at a musician online, like, oh, he sucks. No, like if he's playing some technical stuff, you're like, it's just garbage. It's pointless. If you make decisions like that, you've officially lost. You officially suck because you've limited the things that you've limited. You've given yourself a ceiling. Once you start saying, "Oh, I don't do that because that just sucks," you've limited your ceiling. You know what I mean? That's why when I always see guys, they're like, "Oh, that stuff sucks, you know, or this drummer sucks, or that drummer sucks, or you see a guy doing like amazing stuff, or he's doing like ridiculous double bass work, or whatever. Oh man, it's just not musical. No, you suck, and you don't want to put in the effort and the time to learn or to get like there's guys. Oh well, Joey Jordison sucks. I'm like, bro, you are the minority. That's why Joey Jordison has played all over the world. He's a world-renowned drummer, and you're on YouTube critiquing like you suck. Like, you know what I mean? But that's guys who refuse to get any better, so they settle on, well, this is, this is the be all and end all of drums. And any kind of pursuit, if it's drums, if it's guitar, if it's whatever, it always progresses. Now, you could go along with it and you can progress, or you can find yourself being left behind. You know what I mean? So, become a student of the craft. And you can have a life, bro. Like I got tons of friends. I put in hours and multiple hours of practice every day. I've done it for decades. And I still had friends. I had a life. I went out to bars and clubs. I just I used my time wisely. I'm married. I got 4 kids. Excuse me. Today's my birthday, and my friends took me out for a luncheon. They took me out, paid for lunch, took me out to a nice restaurant, what have you. Like, I have tons of friends. I have tons of friends. Some of them are doctors. Some of them are lawyers. Some are financial analysts. Some are preachers. Some are, you know what I mean? Like, one is a judge. You know what I mean? So, like, I know tons of people. You know what I mean? I have tons of friends. It's that there's certain things that, like, I just I made a decision early on. This is what I do. Even when I had like the regular day job, I just, you know, I would go rent a spot so I could go practice, and I focused on just being good at drums, until it becomes your job. You know what I mean? And the thing about drums is focus on getting good. The money's gonna come. It's gonna come regardless. Thank you. Thank you. You know, focus on getting good at your craft. The money's gonna come. It's gonna come. You know what I mean? So